Hello, all. This is Kenta. Today I'm going over for Legacy Temur Delver. Although I didn't make top 8 last Legacy Challenge, didn't do very well. Like 1 to start, but managed to 5 to top 32. And also, there's other list almost top 8. Temur Delver was Uro. And today I'm going over for my replay of Legacy Challenge I played. And also, the Legacy League I played last night, almost 5-0, but um, sort of counted in like the last round. Um, so this is a list. This is a current list. Um, and some changes that I made that I saw was good. The cross is obviously um, good against the again. Seguro is still the same, so I'm strongly recommend this card. And Blazing for it's pretty catch-all. The card answer to marriage tokens and various like Chalice of the Void and various like parliaments, Enigmatic Bridge. It's also like another 3 mana power 3 flying body, so it's also it makes it good. Things. Um, Pair of Summers, obviously. Um, they actually the reason why you want to play green has is being able to access the Veil of Summer. There are many cards the many combo decks discard out of it. Um, like people started playing discard more discard spells like Himtoro, Totsis, Dress. So this card is really good. Also the the black is really popular in Legacy. Just like Fatal Push, Abrupt Decay. Try to just to kill our creatures. These are really good. Um, the main board. I think it's what the many people might actually just think about. It's like a Hex Tonic. Um, again, the, for the Rag Delver, Tima Delver, unfortunately, the Nimble Mangus really, right now in the meta, Nimble Mangus is not really as good anymore. There's like so many different better creatures in the format, and unfortunately, Nimble Mangus, I feel it's underpowered. On Hex Tonica, it's actually 1 mana 2-1. And you can just leveling up to the 4-4 protection from instant removal spells. It's like so it's Crusher, Fatal Push, many like removals, and it eventually becomes a 6-6 protection from all. And that's this is a sort of like a good mana sink. Just we oftentimes in the middle game, you could get mana flooded, but this is really good protection for the like protection care over the like mana flood, and still good 1 mana drop. Good clock against the combo and control. Probably not as good against the deck playing many creatures, but because 4-4 protection from instant, but like it doesn't really protect you from just bigger creatures. So just against the creature deck, it might be underwhelming, but I think this card is good. This card has been underrated. Um, and of course, Tarmogoyf. Um, there's too many removals. Tarmogoyf doesn't really seem like as good. Um, but there are other Delta decks like Blue Red Delta. It's been getting popular because being Blue Red, being 2 color, immune to Wasteland and Blood Moon, and you can build a really hyper aggressive, faster version to pressure your opponent even quicker. Um, Turmoil, Turmoil is really good against the strategies that on the main removals like the lightning bolt or chain lightning effect. Turmoil can be really good. It's just it's high toughness creatures. Um, Overall, just um, it's it's one of the better creatures when you're playing Delver variant with the mana denial because it's 2 mana for like high power. Um, this version is unlike stuff like Canadian Special. This version is less tempo. It's more middle range. Again, Uro is still the thing. Primarily, like we saw, the Uro is not gonna be as good, but cannot be Uro's as good as it is. I think reason why Wizards didn't ban Uro, they were thinking about banning Uro, but they didn't ban Uro because in the power level of the legacy, card power level of the legacy, Uro can be handled, unlike the formats like Modern or Pioneer. But I think it's still one of the best cards in the format. Genji 3, ramp the mana in the mid to late game. Just it's reusable like win condition. Um, obviously, just like Temur Delver is not that strong as when we used to have a third hold Arcanist and the Oko, but I still think um, I still think this deck is actually can do the tricks. Um, Sylvan library in the main, 2 Sylvan libraries in the main. Against the aggro deck, I don't think you want to pay 4, right? But it's still a good card selection. Against the middle range to control, it's pretty good. It's pretty good because catching up the card advantage. A good source of the card advantage, which actually oftentimes Delver was lacking or having hard time to find. Um, it allows you to just aggressively use the force of will. That's why like even though we don't have a third whole arcanist anymore and don't have as much card advantage, we can still run force of will and force of negation because we run cards like this. Otherwise, we will not have enough blue cards to pitch for force of negation and the force of will. So the removal section, the recently that's been added is Pokeball. Um, it used to be Chain Lightning, but we no longer have to worry about Dirt for Darkness. And they are more on like small creatures like Death and Taxes, Arabs, like in the Saria, Mother of Rune, they're many kind of toughness one creatures that we wanna just immediately get rid of, but oftentimes they go a little wider. Oh, stuff like Young Pyromancer too. Um, the Forked Bolt allows you to do like oftentimes just give you like 2 for 1, just getting rid of 2 creatures at the same time. Um, I think Forked Bolt is the one of the better like uh like a 1 mana bounce spells. That next to Lightning Bolt, because you might be able to get card advantage. And on this member, it's it's a like the removal spells that can get something you can't get rid of with on lightning bolt. Um, the Tarmogoyf that actually didn't grow as much. Um, Goma Gangra is a very important part of it. Yeah. So that's and Stifle. Again, it's Wasteland and Stifle. It's the good old Canadian special like Derva the tech, which is to counter the fetch land, Wasteland their mana denial. It's mana denial strategy. Like with days makes days better, and also like it has another trick too. You can stifle the Uro's sacrifice part of the effect, the ability. So you don't have to sacrifice the Uro. You can keep the Uro by paying 3 mana ability on the stack, on stifle and stifle the ability, and you can keep the Uro. That's another technique that might come up for us oftentimes. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. And covering the what how the deck works. Again, this deck is still good. Not as great as it used to be, but it's still decent. Um, yeah, another deck I wanted to talk about was the control deck that won the challenge, the last week's challenge. This is new. Snorkel. Not snorkel. I mean, obviously, like but it's kind of sort of still snorkel because it's still like a not snorkel. I mean, snow control because there's no alcohol. Pardon me. Um, the again, Uro is still a good card. We lost the Arkham Astrolabe, so mana is worse. And try what this deck's trying to cover is like playing a capital flower in the main because we see majority of the times we see probably as a blue deck. Excuse me. Sorry. It's kind of like allergy season too. Um, right. Okay, where we are? Okay, yeah. This is a Band of Snow Miracles. Basically, just the sort of process to get rid of the creatures. Icefang is a really good cantrip slash good blocker. Terminus to wipe the board. Um, it also like yeah, again, Silver Library, good card selections, card advantage. Teferi. This is another card that we've started seeing more play. I think this is a more important card, like because being Oko being gone, I think this is a really good 3 mana drop for the blue deck, the blue fair deck. Um, like again, it's like Oko being gone. It's like there's actually less creature pressure, and it actually just shuts down a couple like strategies, and it's a good catch-all parliament answer. Overall, just this card is just one really important card in the blue matchup, and that's it. Again, good against decent amount of the decks in the format. It's like people play Brainstorm Ponder, and also good against combo deck. Um, the it's good against like for the card advantage source. Another 3 mana drop that that started being more recognized. And Jace, yep. Because Oko is gone, we need to control needs to find the different win conditions, and I think Jace right fits in the right in the spot. Um, it's not as great as it used to be, but it's still a decent card. Just brainstorm every turn. Ultimately, you can just start plus doing your opponent just so they can top deck the card to beat you, and eventually you can just like exile the rivalry. Um, it's and the Shark Typhoon. It's pretty flexible card again, just cycling in the area to find rounds or find removal spell or counter spell. Just meet the late game becomes a win condition because of because we have the different win conditions now. We don't have to play too many miracle spells like entry danger, which can be cranky in the beginning of the game. Like you would rather have these two in the first hand and entry danger obviously. Cutting some terminuses. So it says miracle, but only miracle spells that we have is two terminus in the main. I personally like this type of the builds than the full like blue white miracles because sometimes I feel like the miracle spells in your hands can be really cranky and it almost feels like I just already took Marigan. So I like this type of build. But I tried this deck, but I've just I've just realized I'm not ready for the um, the snow control deck without outcomes strip. I was I felt I think many people feel that way, but I felt I was so spoiled by outcomes strips. The greatest mana base that we ever had. I kept losing to Blood Moon deck. I kept mis-sequencing the um, land drop and like randomly losing to random wasteland. Can't just half my spells in my hand. So obviously that I'm not ready for this type of deck. I have to practice more. Unfortunately, not really good at this type of deck yet. But I think for those who like playing controls, I would strongly recommend this. But make sure that this deck is not the same as when we had the Arkham Dust Rave the Oko. So I'll take a look, but I would practice more before bringing to the tournament. But this is definitely one of the decks that you could try if you like control deck. But yeah, today it's just like I show you how the lag derivative works. Um, it still works. It's still okay. It's still decent. Um, I can't really say which derivative is the best derivative yet. It's too early. We're still exploring. This weekend it's gonna be there's gonna be a like legacy showcase challenge. So um, probably like the format might be more defined because the more competitive players playing because it's bigger price and the higher qualification for the higher tournament. So I'll be playing as well. So uh, this is a legacy challenge from last Sunday. So this Sunday is okay. We don't have cantrip spells, but we have days, Sterba, we have everything else. So Taiwan started with Sterba. So they played on the volcanic island. It could be many things. Sneak and show, Derba. So just play Tarmogoyf, have a but Tanabe that was sneak and show. And yeah, that was brutal. Just in case they're trying to put sneak attack, I just base to on them not having run, but then just they play macro. Well, like we miss Oko because if he had Oko, we still had a chance. But there's a reason why they banned Oko because, like in this situation, when we had Oko, we still had out. But today we don't. So yeah, it's unfortunately I lost the all in Emakuru. Uh, it was brutal. This sound looks okay, but the scary point is that they can still beat us. Yeah, defense guard I have to counter, but because we just now became um bit defenseless, didn't have enough crew. This is the reason why like the force of negation and the force of will running both of them in the deck can be the it can be really cranky. I even played the Vero some at the cycle, but they just um, counter. They have more counter spells than us. So they definitely not having Dorette or Darkness as source of less source of the card advantage really hurts this deck because having two forces it decrease our hand count really fast and oftentimes we don't have enough blue cards to support. So um, yeah, defense girl is definitely just the thing. Gonna have to watch out because I didn't vote in Ancient Grudge because I didn't see. I wasn't sure like if they're gonna have defense cards, but probably from now on, I probably need to pretend like they actually have defense card. So just probably to make sure voting in Ancient Grudge. I voted out most of the bounce spells and one Uro and one Tropical Island because against combo deck I don't think we should be going to become like middle range deck. We should be become a tempo deck more like so. Um, Having Brazen Blower now on instead of spells and sideboard, I think it really helps the matchup too. It's another clock, another bounce spell. Um, and so on. So, and having three Pyroblast. This matchup is not the worst, but I think Sneak and Show is a lot closer than people think. I think for the Delver, I think it's 50-50. I don't really think we are hugely heavy bubble. Like even though Delver is known deck, the anti-combo deck, but Sneak and Show is it's now really tough. Um, like a lot tougher than it used to be. It used to be feasible for us, but now I think it's pretty close to 50-50. It can be probably just like better for them depending on their build. So I would strongly recommend having a little bit more sideboard card against them from now on. Pyroblast is really good. Veil of Summer can be really good too. Although like I actually end up stuck with two Veil of Summer, so maybe actually just I should not bring in two, maybe one. Um, so yeah. Round two. Hexoring cards get 1 mana drop. The rest that assume it's combo deck. So we'll see how we're gonna able to handle it. We have force of negation at least. I don't like it, but I accept it. They made us discard the lightning bolt, so I'm not sure like their exact plan because they usually drop the force of will. So maybe they're not playing storm. At this point, like, I guess that they could be playing Doomsday cards, so they did not like us to like ban them. Because if they're playing Doomsday, it made sense that they made us discard Lightning Bolt. Spare Pierces, didn't expect. So it's definitely just not the Stone. That at this point, my thought process they're not playing Stone, and they're playing Doomsdays. That then them actually showing us this much of the piece. I just started leveling up to be ready for. This is very annoying because protection from instant doesn't really protect them from this one. So I didn't want to trade. So I just pumped them into um, the level 8 to become the extra protection. They also run Uro too. So, but I just became level 8. And they're trying to escape the Uro, which is fine. We can still race. Just can't open to find the more like disruptions just in case. They have 6 life, but we can still just beat them with this. So they're looking for the answer, but I don't think they could find the answer. Yeah, I don't think they have any outs against this. They Doomsday, but they just showed us Doomsday. So at this point, I'm not really sure if I would even. I guess actually they wanted to see the what they have out. Um, but showing us Doomsday, I'm not really sure. Even though I pretty much knew what they're playing at this point after they showing us Duress. If they didn't show us Duress, I may have thought they're playing the Sultai control or something. But because like Duress and how they played out, I felt like they're playing combo deck. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like the strength of the Doomsday. Sometimes you can actually sometimes just really until really mid game, how depending on how you play, you can actually show pretending like you are like sort of the middle range deck until you actually combo. But there's some couple of things that like I saw was like card like Duress, uh, instead of Totsis. It's often damage control and also like what they duress me, like they duress my lightning bolt. So if you're playing Storm, or many combo decks just don't care about lightning bolt unless they're actually dead by lightning bolt. But um, they ignored my counter spell, but took my lightning bolt. That kind of like hurt like they need to conserve their life total. So and it makes sense if they're playing on Doomsday. But they're playing also playing Uro and it's very first clicks. They're combo decks, but they have the ways um to protect themselves too. It's slow combo deck. It's obviously like combo decks it's slow, but like it's more resilient. So this is another deck that leveraging the Uro. So I can see the danger of this card because when the combo deck start playing cards like this, I think I think we're fine for now in terms of the uh, how the Uro can be warping the format and stuff. I don't really think the card is warping the format yet, at least. I keep this and it's okay. Supported out some number of the shaving the number of the like. I'm not sure like shaving Tamago is correct. But I wasn't sure what to take out at that time. Um, now I'm more clear. In the new list, I would definitely bring in the closest because after sideboard they can take out the Doomsday combo package and they become actual middle range. So answering to Uro is more important. Carpet for Flower is also a good card against us too. It's really annoying card. Just our mana denial storage is not working. But I don't think this deck this version this deck cares about the mana denial anyways. So Surgical is really good. Surgical in Uro. Just after their draw step and turn out to be they had Uro in their hand too. So and they don't have many win conditions left anymore after their Uro got exiled. So I just took the time to make sure that like we are safe. Like we don't randomly just lose, you know. Because at this point, like we took their primary win condition. After sideboard, they're not combo deck much. They're just being middle range, so which is very smart. Like a main deck, you're just middle range style control, and after sideboard you turn into be total control deck. While your opponent, you still have to worry about the still have to respect the combo in some form. The double fire blast effect, but it doesn't really matter. They don't have many win conditions left, so just I just slowly, um, but certainly just pressure them. Having two Bear Summers okay. like it's immune to actually the removal spells if they play any like that's something that is not LED. I don't need the surgical anymore, so I'm just temporary library just to for the more card advantage. Yeah, that's exactly what like the white bear of someone's good. Just abrupt decay. Abrupt decay has become a primary like for some form of the removal spells now. So story except just counter. I didn't let this resolve because I wanted to save bear of someone in case they have another removal spells against the Sylvan Library. Because as long as I have a Sylvan Library, I can keep just recouping the card advantage and finding more cards. So I figure it's just like I'm not gonna fight for it, but like made them use the like counters already okay. I could be wrong. I could just play bear of someone, but here comes Uro. Yep. Yeah, so Uro and like Sylvan Library, good combo. Just gain 3 life, then gain another 3 life after they escape, then just pay life every turn, just draw extra card. Um, yeah, you can outgrind the like middle range deck with having Uro and the Sylvan Library. So I mean, we have also kind of like a middle range deck too. After all, so but yeah, it's I don't think this matchup is probably okay. It can be tricky because of Uro, but we're also playing middle lanes. If you're playing like more like Canadian threshold type of version, Uro is a problem. The reason why like I like this version over traditional like Lag Delver Canadian threshold tempo version was because when I was actually playing Temur Delver deck, I noticed that I can't deal with Uro anymore because we don't have Oppo. So um, that's another reason why I don't really think the traditional like Tima Delva style like Canadian special tempo deck may not work because Uro still exists and that's definitely still the card. So that's the reason why I recommended this version over like other version. Mana is kind of rough, but I don't have too many reasons to make money on because brainstorm and the one on drop. And here you go, wasteland. That really hurts. It really hurts. Could have started from brainstorm, but just not really sure. Tana, they're playing against this on Texas. It's not really good, but found round. Sorry, has a problem. Need to find another round, but can't always find the round. And two one fast strike completely breaks the hex chronicle. If I knew what they are playing, I would have started probably like from different card, but um, unfortunate. This is unfortunate. I don't think I can beat this anymore. It's sort of the tricky matchup. Tima is slightly weaker to Descent Access. We lost Oko and Turret for Darkness, kind of like losing Turret for Darkness has to. I think against the Descent Access, um, the decks like Grixis Derva is probably better against them because of the Plague Engineer. I kept a really bad hand, or kind of like a risky hand um, in this game. So, together it would be really tough. Having two Mother of Rune on the board was really tough because now that the ones are active. play Tarmogoyf and just try to pressure them, but just yeah, pass the exile. Yeah, this game didn't go really well. Double Mother Bloom was really really good. And Skycrab is a card. Yeah, I had to do that way so I can just play Pyroclasm basically. Draft. Yep. Yeah, it's tough. They may not have a hand anymore, but like they have answered to every single we play. Um, yeah, it's so bad. Yeah, I think this Antax matchup for Delver deck is a lot worse than it used to be. Like losing Oko really hurts. Um, I I bought it out on the days and the negations and added more removal spells. Bought it out Silver Library because they're creature deck. Um, I don't think I can afford paying life total like as much, but no, I think it's just like after the updated version, like having Brazen Ball is good. Think think you're gonna have to just you're gonna just redo the sideboard. Descent Tax is another deck that we won't have more sideboard cards, so perhaps actually more like artifact hates. Like stuff like no road is obviously good. Then without having a survivor, they would have to play fair. And in the fair like match, I think we have the edge. We just don't have the break engineer, so not as easy as on the Grixis version or the Delver was like the playing break. So there's one to start. I just kept playing because I just wanted to see how the deck works and also you know top 32 is still price. Might as well play it. This can be many different things, but apparently they're playing elves, so yeah. I know they're playing dark depths type of the deck too, but if they're playing elves, I think it's not the worst. It's probably not the best, but it's type of the fetch. I don't think they need that like that much of the round, but I don't have many good ways to. That was my mistake. I should not have resolved because that was clear they would search for this card. So yeah, it was actually my punt. I probably should have just forced it. So whenever they play like green sound for one, you probably want to counter because they will just they bring this on. I just didn't pay attention at that time. So I pay life because I wanted to play more cards. I wanted to have more cards in my hand, and I think this is kind of situation. Like they're a little bit stumbling because I stifled their land and I killed their Allosaurus, so now we have a counter spell against the natural roller or like green sun tennis. So once Delver started flying, um, I think we have the game. And I attacked with this Delver because I don't think they want to block. And I just forced the like Grimps because Grimps can do many different things. It's fine. Like if they're flying, then we might be able to finish this game because we have Force of Will and the Uro and Force of Will and Blue card for the last action. Brainstorm keep trying to find the stuff, trying to find the Lightning Bolt, but it's fine. Like we should be still okay. It's fine. Like we can counter it. So. There's also another thing is you could stifle this trigger ability too. That's why stifle is not that bad against the, even elf too. Because you could randomly stop the like just the trigger ability too. So game two, even though I had rough and tumble, I Marigan because I didn't have the knockout. And they play turn one with this one. I sideboarded just like adding Rough and Tumble again. Sylvan Library. It's not as good because they're playing creatures, so they just put the pressures. So this is tough because even if I Lightning Bolt, they can still return it and recast. So our counter spells are not really working, function really well. Brainstorm to try to find the Lightning Bolt. Could not find Lightning Bolt. I just can't let them have on the stretching the mana, so I just stifle it because my counter spells are not useful at this point. I need to so I need to find the rough and tumble, even though they can just return their them playing two was kind of okay. They really stretching it, so they're pretending like I don't have a rough and tumble probably. I mean it's probably okay because from the situation that I don't know. That's probably the correct way to handle it. Yes, it's not good. Grimps and Visionary, they, at this point, I just thought they'll pretty much beat me. At this point, it's fine. It's always game city, but yeah, our house is so good. Yeah, see the fetch. Just um, yeah, you could use like if you have a double delver, just when you have fetch, you can take a look for the one trigger. Then just if you don't like the top card, you can stack, and you may have with one delver. I mean, it didn't matter because we lost, but that's it's something to something to think about all the time when you're playing this deck. Game three, game three was okay. Kept this one is pretty good because you have lightning bolt and rough and tumble, and the Udo runs lightning bolt. So that was a really good game. So it was just it was a really good hand for us, and even better. I didn't even waste on this one because I just wanted the rough and tumble. That one was kind of little that was thing because they can just draw cards. They can overextend for free basically. Like I just type play because I just don't want them to play like anymore over anything. And also I lightning border so they can't return the dryad arbor. And just rough and tumble and just waste on that left them with no parliament. But they had a glimpse, so I we didn't get as much value as we wanted to. So if I had a force, I would have forced it, honestly. But still fine. We're still in the head. We have another lightning bolt and we have the days, whatever the spell they're trying to resolve. So and we set it up to Derva, so we flips and brainstorm to find the more stuff. And Sylvan Library, Sylvan Library here is actually good now because like when you're on the play, I think Sylvan Library is fine card. Um, but when you're on the draw, I probably pull them out. I states it because like against Elf, the important part is like um countering the critical spells like natural order or green sun is important, but also like their creature based synergy deck, basic tribal based synergy deck. So more elf creatures they have on the board, it's more unfair things they can do. So it's important to just keep them having things on the board. Keep not letting them have too many things on the board. So this situation, I let all this happen unless it is natural order or green sun zenith. Because our Delver will flip and it will be six damage and lightning bolt can finish them all. Unfortunately, it did not flip, but I still think we can win the race. I mean, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we can just block. We can just like block, and we're still at 10 life, so we should be fine. They have a abrupt decay for one my Delver, but it's actually really funny part. Like our Delver would not have flipped, so if they kill this Delver, they might have actually won the race. Um, but they did kill my Delver, which is untap, because so they can attack with their team, and I will not be able to use because I think their thought process is like I would just jump to just to survive, but then attack with Derba attack with Derba twice. So the thought process is just like if I don't have enough brokers, they can just like the win that spot. It's like I jump to this one, put myself at 5. Yeah, our Derba wouldn't have gripped, so the killing that Derba was not particularly the best move for over their part. I think. Yeah, because that kind of gave us the chance. So I think this game, I don't think I should have won. Um, they could have just killed my the insect operation on attack. And the thing is, they like if that Derba flips and I had lightning bolt, they would still lose. But like and Derva was not necessarily free. But I understand the thought processes because like having silver library, it's really kind of like understandable to think that this Derva will free. But turned out to be just I don't have enough spells in the top of library, so it did not free. But yeah, it was a strange game. But again, um, people can make a mistake. And I make a lot of mistakes too. So keep this on again. Um, playing against the blue red Delver, so I just force the this here because I don't have removal spells, and the split round stays it. Another days and Tarmogoyf is good. This card is not as good against them, but Tarmogoyf is. It's good. I countered two of their threats in the area. Yeah, I don't want them to have a monastery switcher into Sprite Dragon, because then rest of the game I would be in like behind and just it's hard for me to catch that up. But now we have Tarmogoyf, so they tried to write double right in both Tarmogoyf, but I just countered the second one. I did not block because I smelled that that might be the case, and also our life total was still high enough. And if we bought enough time, we can just start playing Uro. So Sylvan Library particularly is not really good against this matchup, but like having Uro really helps, and selection is also good too. But definitely probably bought out against. I mean, I probably bought out against this matchup especially because I don't really think I can I could afford paying life total against this deck, especially this deck. So they're playing even just like kind of like a they're playing sort of like modern prowess like type of thing. They're playing a legacy version of the EZ prowess. That's fine. I escaped the Uro, and they have zero hand, so and we have also will. But we just stayed there. Yeah, they then conceded. Yeah, Uro's pretty good against like EZ. Um, they don't have good ways to deal with it. So our goal is basically survive until be able to cast Uro. Yeah, this matchup is the reason why I like that version with Tarmogoyf because people started playing like more prowess version of the like on the blue deck. So, but the turn it wasn't even there, but it was is it actually is it prowess in the modern, but in legacy version. That's fine. That means I may not have to playing around whatever that I was playing around against the usual Delver deck, like Wasteland, for instance. Because they probably might be playing Price of Progress instead. So more like the preserving life totals might be the key. So we just kill the creature. I put Cypher on top, so I have a blue card to pitch because I want to keep Honda. Yeah, Blood Moon. Yeah, Blood Moon is another card that I need to play again around. They could have days in that spot, but I can play around everything they play. So Abla's pretty good against us. It's annoying. Good thing I don't play Young Pyromancer, but if he did, it would have been even much more impactful too. Pretty bad. So they have Rabada to pump up too. Tom Golf is fine, but like in this situation, it doesn't really seem as good. Would have been good if they didn't have this. Yeah, that's yeah. I knew they have Rabada. So. Yeah, this is yeah. That was not really good. But yeah, they would play Brown Moon, so like I had to watch out because this deck the team other was like doesn't play any basics, so dies to Brown Moon. First hand is kind of money gunning. We just didn't have enough. But second hand, we have a Tarmogoyf, so So okay. I still voted in Pyroblast because they play Sprite Dragon, which we really need to deal with. Yeah, Tarmogoyf was really good against this matchup. It's fine. We had a lightning bolt. That one we forced because I don't wanna. I don't want Tarmogoyf to get weaker and just waste on the start beating. That's fine. We can just Pyroblast it in the following turn. But I decided to have that because I don't. It's 1-1. It's not complete like quite certain yet. But since it started pumping up, I just killed it. I could have just counter their like brainstorm because that would be much more threatening because they will have more cards. Sprite Dragon versus this side of the Tarmogoyf, we are able to race completely fine. Like if it's a 1-1 flying speed Sprite Dragon, I was okay with it. With that line of the play, they had to use everything to get rid of Tarmogoyf. I'm okay with it because we drew Uro, so and we drew Tarmogoyf too. So in case they play Stifle, I don't think they are, but and again in case they're playing Days, but they could play Pyroblast too. But I don't think it matters that much because we have Tarmogoyf and we have removal spells, so this situation was not really the best for them. So if the game goes on properly, we are better matchup against this type of deck because they are like faster, but we are bigger. And this type of the matchup, like going bigger is actually just in the better. Like the one thing that you're gonna have to watch out is like not randomly getting like just die by their multiple lightning bolts or just random. So this matchup, we are basically control side, and the key is actually not being greedy, not going being greedy, just to um focus on trying to survive because longer game goes, it's better for you. So because you have Uro and Tamago to just we have better card than we have like well, our card quality is higher than them. So that's this type of the matchup. You just like wanna be patient. Just play your game. That's basically what it is. It's okay hand. Don't have counter whisper, but have a blue card on the force of will. But I decided to stifle it. So I can just sequence into like a Tarmogoyf. Careful study, so they could be playing Hogak. So just waste on their mana, the attack, and probably counter whatever the spell they play next turn. This is a really good matchup for us. I just have to tempo them out. Perfect. So that's like waste on then just playing. Yeah, we just play basically the tempo. They play like a careful study. Like it's generally when you see careful study or faceless routing, you don't expect the honest magic together in game. So you probably want to counter that. And as soon as you see that, it's probably the deck. It's something doing unfair things, either reanimate or forget. Um, so you wanna just turn the clock, just try to kill them as quickly as possible because they can do many different things that I don't really want to see. So since it looks like they're playing Hogak, Yeah, I bought it in surgical and I kept it because of that. And yeah, that's how I bought it. I bought it out of Sylvan Library because again they're kind of creature decks. So, took out one wasteland because I don't really think game one became like that, but I don't really think it's gonna be the wasteland game. So bought it in Bed of Summer because they play the discard. I just stays it because hate on club. This is okay. They made us discard surgical cover therapy, which is smart. That's probably the. I mean, where I keep the hand, I snap kept. So I snap kept. So that means like I have somebody graveyard hit, and it's probably a surgical. So good catch on them. We just need to find the creature. We have enough counter spells or like other stuff. So I kept shuffling. I bought it in Caracas because of Hogak. And then the updated list, you can board in cross is pretty good against them. It's another graveyard hit, and that's another win condition against them. So something to remember about. Probably Blazing Blower too. No, they cannot have that. No, they cannot have Alta Red Dimension. No, no, it's a must counter spell. I did not bother in Ancient Grudge because my goal is not resolving them or not making it impact. Because if I'm started Ancient Grudging the Alta Dementia, I think we're not doing a great job. Play Hextonica. Um, I countered this one because I don't want them to. Again, it's another graveyard host. They have a cover therapy. They could fill the graveyard really quick, and I just level them up to just into the ultimate just so I can finish the game quick. Now two tank block and can't be blocked, so and they can't even like get rid of it. Just play time with, just waste on them. Yeah, they couldn't find anything, but yeah, it could have been worse. Their draw is probably not really as good. And also I counter the important things. Just the those two, it, it can be really good engine. This one you really don't wanna have it. So I had basically good answer on counter spells against the important spells like other Dementia must counter. This you would rather not resolve it. This you don't want to have on the board. So like against this type of deck, um, like handling the handling the Hogak is important. Like having graveyard hits is probably the ideal. But if you don't you just counter the engine, then just to um like clock them before they can set up the like engine again. But yeah, the countering engines slow them down. They don't have actually many creatures that can block really good because Grave Rod can block. So and our creatures get bigger really fast. Like Tamagotchi gets bigger because they fill the graveyard faster. So we just basically play tempo deck. And this matchup we're basically playing tempo deck. So, not the best matchup, but we are really lucky. Um, but it's still beatable. Excuse me. All right, so keeping this sounds weird. I'm not sure if it's something that you should keep normally, but having a days and just Delver, and it was okay. I think it's Reza loose hand to keep. I could have taken Marigan, so I was playing against Doomsday. They play Town One Doomsday. We'll see how it's gonna be. That would have been really dangerous for them if they were flipped because I have lightning bolt too. Like I'm not sure if they were able to win like on time. So they have some sort of like a plan probably. I decided Daisy because them brain dissolving brainstorm they can just win in that spot. But because they had to pay one more mana to dissolve brainstorm, and they did not have enough mana to just play that Tasa in that spot. They play Thoughtseize when they're like at 5 life total when I had Lightning Bolt, so I just Lightning Bolt them and let Thoughtseize resolve and they die. So I guess actually they wanted Thoughtseize to make sure that I don't have nothing. Then next time they were playing Tasa, Oracle and win. But this is one of those games just like a couple days to just mess up their math and like kind of randomly work. But then turn one Doomsday was a really risky move too, but I could see why they did it. Because if I don't have any of these cards, like the thing is like if the Delver flipped, that would have been even riskier. So Doomsday is very popular combo deck. So if you're playing Legacy, you definitely want to practice and or just having sideboard card against them. Make sure like you're ready for the sideboard. I voted him surgicals because I assumed that would be in the many cases, but I did not see entire of the deck, but I assumed there would be Uro or like a middle range exchange. But this time it looked like they kept the combo and way the mana I see, but we never know. So I just started with Uro because I still have counter spells and surgical extractions. I just wanted to finish the game. Then so I tried to brainstorm to hide my hand, but just they had days. They made me discard the force of negation, so I won't have another blue card. But I found another blue card. But I needed to keep the stifle in my hand, so I will have two blue cards. I mean, I have blue card for force of will. So if they go off, I can just get them. But they didn't, so let's play Silver Library. It wasn't even like they lock creature into like mana boost and force over. So they basically they don't have blue mana. No blue mana. They don't have a blue card in their hand. I used the surgical because I just wanted to see what their hand is. That was clear that they did not have a blue card in their hand because otherwise they would not do that sort of play. I can hard cast force of will if I want to. I need to find another blue mana so I can start escaping Uro. Delver works too, but I wanted to escape in the Uro. My thought process basically just like a handle it. Yeah, just they tried to dress me. I just like post it. It's the same thing because they will take out post too. But at least actually I will able to protect this stifle. So if they go, it, it can it can come down to just the stuff. It's okay. I'm okay with that. I could have let the dress resolve, but I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure if it's how different it is. Today's was not really useful. So I surgical the brainstorm, but they had a ponder in their hand. So surgical in ponder would have been good, but I just wasn't sure. Like usually the brainstorm because they can doomsday brainstorm into just straight up win. That was my thought process. Yeah, escaping Uro tapping out kind of punished us in the end because if I still had the stifle, but it's just it's fine. But so turn out to be they did not remove the combo unlike the other one. I don't know if they're playing Uro with this mana base, so it's good to know for the toward the game 3. It's the deck is really difficult to sideboard against because sometimes they take out the combo, sometimes they just don't. So They really play the Doomsday aggressively. No, this time Delver flipped. I just waste. So they may not have enough mana to go off. Well, I mean, that finish the combo. I mean, finish the game. The one thing that, yeah, and the plan didn't really work. The one thing that it's really difficult about the Doomsday is because you're gonna have to plan the your opponent, what kind of disruption your opponent have and stuff. Like this time, this point, just I had wasteland to just mess up their mana, like just mess up their mana like mass. So, and I had a force of will to for whatever like stuff like ideal bound, or even if they're brainstorm, I would still force it because all I have to do is just like not lose next two turns. So yeah, so that was a challenge. Then, like, obviously I was 5-2. Some 5-2 would have made top eight, but since I want to start, my breaker was not really good, so I just stopped 32. But overall, it's not the worst record. It's probably solid to record. Still priced on still get many testing done, and it was enough testing for me to understand how Uro is still the same. Uro is still a good card, and you can still play in Delver deck. Um, it's good to know about. So I was happy with that, like how things turned out. And then I played the league last night. Was updated to list. Yeah, so it's game one. This person always plays the multi-color control deck. So and this hand is okay hand to keep anyways. So it's just such a green mana, so I can play those two cards too. I didn't daze it because I wanted to play Silver Library because it's very important against control deck playing being able to play Tanto Silver Library, and that one I daze it. I wanted to go around, but just waste landing the red mana source. So they're playing punishing fire control deck that I found out from this one. So means I could stay wasteland for their like the globe too. Town globe is actually okay. But Uro's gonna be probably the key. I forced it, but they forced back, but it doesn't really matter. Their hand is really low, like, and I have a silver library still. And their clock is not fast enough for me to just have hesitate with losing life. And also this. And then I forgot about this one at this point, and I let them have the free punishing fire. But it's fine. Our life total is still high enough. It was kind of awkward playing Delver because punishing fire just can't kill it. But then they have a globe, so it was kind of awkward for the situation for me. But the my goal was basically just Uro at this point, so I was okay with it. I just like need to find another blue mana source, and then until that, I'm just keep blocking them, just keep make them use punishing fire, and they also gain last life too. So in some point, I might be able to pay for the silver library too. I was okay with it. The score is basically have Uro, but I cannot find the land. So just keep making them use punishing fire. Yeah, I still could not find the round. But they kept gaining us life because they needed to use the globe to get the red mana. So now actually like they gained us enough life total to just use Silver Library a more aggressive way to found the round, but just it was wrong kind of the round. So at this point I didn't even bother waste rounding them. It's good they let us shuffle too. So I tried to play Tartu Tamagos because punishing fire can't kill Tamagos really easily. So they considered before even Uro landed because like eventually Uro is coming down and I can start like bashing them with Thermoglyph and they got run out of removals and I still have force will, so it's it's kind of strange to think that their bike deck can out resource the like control deck, but that's what Silver Library does. This isn't the ideal hand, but I kept it because Uro and so also like they could probably play this card, so I didn't want to aggressively take the Mariganing. Brainstorm to find the more stuff. Yeah, Crosses is really good against them. The thing is, they can also play their own Crosses too, that kind of thing. But I didn't play Crosses immediately because I wanted to have the counter backup. I just started with Tamagotchi and they had a Postal Will. So I just played it their Postal Will before I played this one. But they play their own Crosses first. But it's fine because I can play my own too. At this point, yeah, like at this point, I don't really think they have a counter spell, and even if they did, like they have to use their entire resource to do it. So they have some graveyard hate, so I don't think Uro will make so much impact for it. But it's fine. This and this creature will probably take care of it because soon and I have Bear of Sama. I had a Bear of Sama to protect them, and also like I leveled up enough to be able for them to not answer this one anymore, and they play Bear Strix, and they considered because they figured out that's how the game goes. Then eventually I can just pump them up to just protection from like everything. And yeah, Bear of Sama would protect from blood spells and the stifle for whatever the I could stifle the counter this like just ability if I really need to, but I just wouldn't. But yeah, it's like Cross is really good against control matchup. They could even have played their own, but just mine probably worked better. And yeah, Hex Sorinka is really good against control for the same. Especially combination was actually way too protected just already. So I'll keep this one. This is good. So they play Goblin Lucky. So my first plans are stay untapped to Delver, but because I drew a Focus Bolt just to like kill that. So I found the Uro on top pretty good. Uro's probably like really good against Goblin. I mean, I assume it will be. So I just had basically just like a flying creature and insect aberration attack and let's see how I'm gonna able to place. I have at least one removal spell. Richard and Port is fine. When they don't have an Ace Abire, unlike Death and Taxes, Richard and Port could just like only do much. As long as they don't have an Ace Abire. Because Goblin spells Goblins are much more expensive spells than Death and Taxes. So if they're like using 2 mana on my upkeep, that means they're also see like how they're doing. Like they're also restoring their mana too. While I'm actually able to move little like um more efficiently because my deck plays more cheaper spells. So and I have Sylvan library to like the selection. So they have to tap my mana because they don't want me to escape Uro, but eventually I will get enough mana to do that. Because I Sylvan library will eventually find me that enough stuff. But I didn't have to do it because in the end I just finished the game. So I won because they don't have a I did not have a Sabar. If they had a Sabar, it would have been a different story. But because they didn't have a Sabar, they had to use I basically kinda like a semi mana denial them. Because they had to use Richard and Port basically like 1 mana, 1 colorless plus Richard and Port 2 mana to restoring my mana so I can't cast the Uro. Because if when the Uro resolves, they're probably not gonna able to win. Um, at least in this situation, in this context of the game. Um, so I for the Goblin deck, I think Isabel is even more important. In order to able to move more efficiently. But Calmam Soul is also good. So I just like will play accordingly. When you when you see decks like Goblins. How I bought it, I marking on this one, but I keep this one. How I bought it was pretty similar to I would have voted against Death and Taxes. Again, Force of Will and Force of Negation. Asa Fire is the card, but we will have a ancient grudge and no road after sideboard. Um, so I took out this because of the Cavern Souls and I don't want to have a risk myself having that counter spells. And took out one Sylvan Library because of the creature deck. Sylvan Library is still okay card, but I don't really think it's. I don't think you can just support paying life against this. They started with Wasteland. So I just started with the Delver. They play Amethyst, but it didn't matter because um I have Delver, so I can play Delver and play Wasteland, waste their waste, so they can't just waste us. Again, they don't have Ace of Fire, so they're just like they can just mana deny us like for a while, but um we have a Flying Delver. They're facing against our Flying Delver, and they're now like have to use if they play creatures, then I can start playing spells. But if they don't, they actually not gonna able to progress the board in front of the 3-2 flyers. So it didn't really matter because I have lightning bolt. So they had to sacrifice everything to just survive. Yeah, so I won both games because I think Goblin Pass like at some point they did not have a Sabire. They did not start with a Sabire in both games. But also like I think they misinterpreted the role of the game. The role of the game is basically just against us, the Goblin decks. Just they need to progress the board. Otherwise, I have a cheaper threat. So what happens like I were able to it's really funny because Goblin has a better long game, and we kind of like go under them, or either that, or we try to win with Uro or Raff and Tambro just wiping the board. So um, it's actually like their plan going wider against us is better than Richard and quoting us. Um, but if they had a Esabile, it would have been a different story. If they had Esabile, then they could just Richard and quote us, then just while they're playing, while they're deploying the threats. So, but generally, generally against Delver, like you know, or anybody else, I think it's just deploying threats is better than try to mana deny us. Yeah, but anyways, that's we got lucky in this one too. Good. If they play Sabah, it would have been a different game. That's the reason why like I would generally counter the Sabah. So this is again I kept this sound. It's not kind of like anything, but it's like brainstorm's fine. I just lightning board it because turn one this one. Yeah, it was elf deck. Yeah, I posted this one because they can outsize us really quick. Also, they don't seem like they have any other like the land or mana source, so which is okay because I have force of negation to counter their like on green suns. 50か僕の main. I could see why they're playing this. Yeah, reason why they started it was I didn't want them to have more mana. I just wanted to finish the game with Delver, so that would give us enough time. But even that, like they can still natural order us. And this is not good feeling about it, right? Because you did not find the blue mana, blue card. Yeah, it was unfortunate they were able to natural order us right on time. Would have been great if he had a stifle, but like, yeah, it's another case though. We sometimes don't have enough blue card. That's why like you don't want to run too many force effects. That's why some people start running spell pierce instead. We're running it just the force of negation because of Silver Library. They have rough and tumble, so even if they go wide. Um, so the goal is basically be able to flip double delvers and wipe their board. However, we did not flip. This is the awkward position, right? So I played Silver Library. I just like waited on one more time because I had a feeling that they're not gonna able to kill us this time yet. There's no warrant for it, but um, from the way they sequence, that they probably do not have a kill yet. I'm very amazed like they did not they flipped it, but that was really awkward. So I had to make a really awkward play, basically. So I attacked with this to see how they do because I was gonna rough on tumble anyways. I just like saw that oh great. Yeah, it was not really good at all. It was not really good rough on tumble. But I had to do it anyways. That was a really awkward game, I admit. I don't even know how the game turned into, but for some reason I was able to turn the corner. So I play Uro and like Wasteland, like try to put them on as less creatures as possible and so I can escape Uro, and maybe I might able to steal the game. But they can Bojuka Bog too, so that was also another thing too. Even I had Tarmogoyf, so and here like I prepared they would Bojuka Bog, but some reason they I don't know why they didn't. But they had already in their hand or something probably. So they must have the Bojuka Bog in their hand already, but they didn't realize it and they tried to search it and then they realized it seems like it's what that happened. Because otherwise I would have just Bojuka Bog. Because sacrifice around search for library for land cards, so they could have searched the Bojuka Bog. Or they did it because they had a abrupt decay. But I'm not sure if it's even how accurate it is. So they probably had them in the hand. Then why wouldn't they play it? That's why I wasn't really sure why. What to. So I was able to escape Uro once again. So I wasn't sure. Like I felt like something, some random great things happened. Like things worked for me, but or they accidentally voted out Bojuka Bogu. But at this point, the Uro just stole the game. Stifle is fine against them. I can stifle their ability too, but I stifle this one obviously, but I can stifle this one too. So that's why stifle against elves is also fine too. It's not bad. Yeah, I voted out Hex Drinkas because against elves, I don't really think yeah, you can also pump up the protection, but in the end of the day, I don't really think the game is gonna be hex Torinkas type of the game. So I just voted them out. Most of the time they have broadcast, and it really doesn't block really well. And using the mana, I think it's a bit slow. Like negation, I voted out negation on days. One day is because they have mana enough mana usually. Negation because Allosaurus is the thing. I don't wanna stuck with too many counter spells, and I bought out one library because again I don't think I can afford for the paying life. I could have voted in Bait of Summer because they play abrupt decay, but I wasn't sure if it's enough to actually put up Bait of Summer because I think it's abrupt decay, maybe Totsies, but I think it's important about the Rough and Tumble having more removal spells. I voted in Blazing Borwa because it's flying creature and the bounce spell. Having flying creature is kind of important against elf because that's the way you wanna close the game. So that's how I voted. Um, Marketing. Keep this is okay. These are good. Actually, Folk the Bolt is pretty good against elf. House. Yep. Not killing this immediately. I would just have them play another elf so I can just totally barrier out of it. That kind of felt really bad feeling about it because they played Cradle and just play these two. But it's okay because I can kill at least one of them. So too bad I can't kill both of them. So it's not doesn't produce us as much value, but at least they have to recast ourselves again. So and I have lightning bolt for answering ourselves. So just I think this is okay. Then play double derba. So it's fine. Then this time I upkeep the cast brainstorm because I can flip it for sure, and it's gonna be the race because there are 70 life total already. Then attack them will be put them in 11 life total. Then I have lightning bolts too, and I kill the ourselves just in case. I kill one creature. I didn't have counter spell, so I didn't have to kill Allosaurus immediately. But the thing is, because of Gaia's Cradle, more creatures they have, Gaia's Cradle is gonna be better. So they had a second Gaia's Cradle. Um, but they don't have so much going on. Fortunately, so this one like it'll be okay. I could just like be okay, just attack with Delver, then just rough and tumble. They can just return one, but it doesn't really matter because it makes the guy's Cradle less active, and they only have one more turn. So this is the turn that they're gonna have to do something, but I don't think they're gonna have enough. I have Brazen Blower just in case for anything happens. So they pass the turn, so they probably have a abrupt decay or fatal, well, not fatal push, but whatever the removal spell. That's fine. I can still just so they had one life total, so I had to just find the lightning bolt, and I did. So, this matchup is not as it's not bad. You have enough bounce spells, enough removal spells. So I did like we did four all stars, so I really wanted to have 5 over like in the final round I played party and just so that was Dark Depth deck. So they all in for the Vampire Hexman, I just counter it. So it slows down a little bit. So I just try to close out the game as quickly as possible. So just there go. That confidence is fine because of Forked Bolt and Wastelanding the Thespian stage. And that's what I did. If Delva flipped, it would have been really nice, but just Delva doesn't really flip really often times in this deck. Yeah, it's just a bit of broken. They don't have like anything. So the game too. Um, the important note against Dark Depths, Stifle doesn't do anything for the those Dark Depths trigger, so you have to counter the Thespian stage activation. That's something you wanna have to be really careful on when you try to do the Stifle. Yeah, I take out Days because they have Lotus Peddler and the Elvish Spirit guys, so oftentimes they can. It's easy to play around, for them to play around Days. And the possible negations, it's because the combination just like again, like they have discard spells and oftentimes like I against this type of deck, um, I think I need to move the stuff like Wasteland or like Wasteland or like stuff like Brazen Blower to bounce their merit beast and just trying to force over their such spells. Yeah, because the key cards like Dark Depths and Thespian Stage and Force of Negation doesn't do anything against them. It can counter crop rotation or like the Sylvan Library, no, Sylvan Scribe, yeah. But I think having Force over is enough for that. I think it's our goals more of the Hex Sonic, I took them out because they play Hex Mage to block, and I don't think we have time to pump them up. I could be wrong. It probably just like be okay, but I have Brazen Bro. I voted the Ancient Grudge because I can I need Ancient Grudge, the Pissing Needle saying Wasteland. So we'll see. Maybe taking out Hex Sonic was too much, but they really just handle the creature really well. Let's say in the case, I forced this one because it can also search the dark depths on Thespian stage. So depending on the situation, but yeah, usually your first target is something, whatever the stuff that they can find, duck depth combo. That's the kind of key. In that case, Silver Library too, but I don't think they want to pay too much life total against us though, because we we can clock them faster. I just mentioned the grass that and just I didn't want to waste land right away because I don't want them to crop rotation then search another dark depth. So found the brazen borrower. Now actually I have a good chance for the waste landing. I could also brazen borrow the library, but I didn't. Um I wanted to save it for the militaries, but now they know I have brazen borrower, so I don't think they would just um activate the like Thespian stage into Ductive to just um walk into this one. So the issue is, yeah, they did it. So I figured they had something, but I had to try anyways. Yeah, and they had a crop rotation into series step piece, or they can protection from blue, or they can get protection. So yeah, I keep this one. This is okay. That Delver, then just my plans probably just that. Then Totsis. They Totsis my Tarmogoyf. Um, it means they don't have too many removal spells, I assume. Well, their hand is impact grand enough that one force of will wouldn't do much. That's why I'm not gonna force over it. And just sim around, I just they don't need it. I'll just do Uro, so I can just I just continue the game. Okay, this is okay. Surgical is fine. Like if I find wasteland, I was hoping that I was gonna find wasteland enough, and they fishing needle the wasteland is fine. I had ancient grudge. Also, they're mana rights. So what I was doing is ancient grudge their needle, then crush back ancient grudge lotus pedal, so they don't have enough mana. Curious is fine. They took out my stifle. I could have used the Ponda again, but just I want to save all the force over and stuff. Because in the end, I was gonna just escape the Uro next turn by fetching. I don't think they have too many answers in this context. And Uru gain life also just gives me the turn against their 2022, so it's another important part too. So it gives me time to find something. In it, they did not find around, so they conceded. But my sideboard after sideboard, like our goal was basically just like disrupt their combo once, then surgical the dark depths, that type of thing. But in the end of the day, Uro randomly worked fine. But see, like as we've seen, there's so many games that we are able to consistently cast Uro still, despite how bad the mana looks. Um, So if this deck can cast Uro this consistent amount, you could see how the control decks would still able to use the Uro as a reliable and like win conditions. So this is good to know about the thing. Like, and oftentimes people find it playing Uro Delver is strange, but Delver being shifting into middle range deck, it makes sense playing Uro. Because really lately, it's really hard to play Delver as a tempo deck because there's so many powerful cards that can deny the tempo strategies. So it could be shown on their deck, so I just play accordingly. I just brainstorm to find more stuff. Okay, so fetch runs. I'm not gonna crack the fetch because I wanna stifle the fetch run. And I just stifle the fetch. If they try to counter, I can daze it. I can daze my so that's better. With this sequence, they shows kind of weakness, so I just daze it. Um, and also like I had two turn left. I said that I'm just aware, like I wait possible first, even if they discard me, like um, I'll still have another cards. It was kind of weird. I should have probably tapped the volcanic island because the possibilities I would find. There's no red based. That was actually my habit from Dreadful Arcanist type thing. Like I left the red mana, but this deck on the this version of the deck, just I think green mana is more important. It's fine. We are playing a resource game, but I'm having a silver library, so and their life total is really low. I'm fine with it. So next time, just yeah. I just like now how to find the Uro or just lightning bolt. Probably lightning bolt or forked bolt even. Just they started getting stabilized, but Silver Library found me just then stuff. Yeah, they found me lightning bolt, so just bolt them. So playing against control deck, at this point I was playing against control, so I decided to bolt out some trimming some counter magics, and boarding in one surgical for against the Uro, and yeah, trimming lightning bolts for replacing Pyroblast. And I boarded in Crosses and Brazen Burrow as well. Unfortunately, they discarded my Crosses in the first turn. Veil of Summer is also a good card because they're playing discard spell. So Veil of Summer is now really good against control, and they're playing Wasteland too. Yeah. I didn't play Hex Tonica because I know they were like holding removal spells. Like but the way they play, like it didn't let me play double spells. But unfortunately, they had a Plague Engineer. I accidentally left in Dismember. It could have been something else. It could have been possible. Another possible counter magic. I don't know. It's like I was paying attention. Or it could have been another lightning bolt. It would have been better. But it did the job. It did kill the Plague Engineer. So in that context of the game, it didn't really matter. So they're looking for another like the green mana source basically. So I assume they had another abrupt decay or something. This card started actually shining really well. This card is probably really good. Snapcaster Mage is pretty annoying. It's pretty annoying that this card started being this card. This one I should have wasted the underground sea first, so I wouldn't have lost the Delver. Yeah, I think that was my mistake. I probably should have at least wasted on the underground sea first to see how they're gonna react. I used that as a cyclone and force over because I really need to get rid of this Liliana with this one. Could have wasted this one. I probably should have wasted this fire. Yeah, then I drew a Veil of Summer. So that this game didn't kind of like really go really well for us. The, our draw was kind of little one tempo too slower, and also like them discarding this on the first hand was this one came in the first hand was really bad because I wanted to top deck this one probably not in my first hand, so but I didn't want to take Marigan for that hand. It would have been really perfect like if 10 thoughts is this one. That's the only thing. Like if I had this one, like it would have been like just completely different game. That one I could have bailed somehow. I don't know why I didn't do it. I probably should have bailed somehow. Is it? Yeah, it works right because it's yeah, yeah. I probably should have bailed somehow that just draw a card. It's unfortunate. It's just Silver Library will keep them finding the cards. Yeah, and they have drawn, so then they resolve the real world. Yeah. Generally, like the silver library isn't as good against us, but just this situation, it's pretty good. It's so good card. Just keeps them like better card quality. Because they had real world, I can't use Uro really good way. Otherwise, it would have been really good. So I really wanted to like, counter real world, but I couldn't do much about their dorm that they already had. They play scavenging moves. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Yeah. I think, yeah, yeah. I think overall, just I should have betted that one. I don't know. The couple of things that I could have did when I think about, but those small like playing could have made some differences. This game, I think I punted. Um, okay, good thing I had the Misty Rainforest. This is a very important card against them. So yeah, I'm just trying to resolve this one because brainstorm they show the weakness for that, so I didn't cast the Delver because the I wanted to force over and the Power Blast back up. Waste standing it. That one I accidentally clicked it. I should have Pyroblast this one because obviously they're looking for something. Yeah, it did. It might have probably found them around. So the I probably should have Pyroblast this one. I just accidentally resolved it. But now I'm aiming to counter Uro, but they have swamps, so there are a lot of things have going on of their mana base. So I probably should have Pyroblast this one. That was my first mistake I made. Also getting mana flood too, but I don't really think it matters. Like I think I still made the wrong play. Trust us. At this point, I wasn't gonna just to go deep. I'm just still wanted to force over and I would rather still have force over and pyroblast on the protection. But I think I was resolving that like brainstorm was wrong because considering how long I've been holding pyroblast with no like proper target. So because probably they would not be able to find that many cards without actually brainstorm and fetch around. Now this is the important part of the game probably. At this point, I didn't hesitate to just keep pumping. But let's force it because once it becomes level 3. So another mistake I made is level 3 is fine, but playing Goif was really wrong because that happened. Um, the thing is like I should have known they could be running toxic storage. Especially I surgical the game too, so I knew all their deck list, and I knew I actually saw they were running toxic storage. Even though they were running only one, it's still a possibility. So I probably shouldn't have cast Turmoil along with it. I should have just like leveled up. So it forces because there was this right here, right, this right itself is already forcing them to toxic storage anyway. So I did not need to cast play Tarmogoyf from the go. But I went greedy. I just like say, okay, well, my thought was I play Tarmogoyf, then next time I pump them and finish them off. But it be- because of that, it ultimately punished us. So yeah, that's that was really bad. I did a yeah that was really really bad in the end because with the context of the game went. I think it's just forcing them toxic to release for only this one. Um, would have been probably just like the mob thing, then play Armor Wolf, then just so it might delay them able to cast this one. So I would have window to actually able to just do Uro and stuff too, or just dealing them more damage. Now that now they're fully able to just do whatever they want to. So I think combination of accidentally resolving brainstorm and which is that was my misclick. I actually meant to counter that. Like I wanted to counter brainstorm. A combination of not countering brainstorm then overextending into toxic delusion. So I basically gave away the game against them. I'm not saying actually I would have won, but I think I had a good chance to win this game than down this one. So yeah, I didn't miss 5-0. It was really tough, but it happened. So we all make mistakes, but that was a yeah. I hope actually like we all learn that from that. But yeah, the key point is this card is really good against control deck overall. Sometimes just like it's single. It's basically like almost pretending like a True Name Nemesis. This is basically kind of like our version of the True Name Nemesis, except for it can it can come into like you know an area than True Name Nemesis. It won't get pyroblasted. Um, it's a bigger clock than True Name if it gets to like becomes like a level 8. But in the end of the day, I think this card is really good. I actually do like this card. Um, I think I'll test into more, but this is definitely just the one that underrated card. But I think just more decks should play this card. And Tamagotchi is always Tamagotchi. Doesn't have immune to removal spells, but it does the same. Especially when you have the mana denial storage, is like Cypher. Yeah, and Uro was actually amazing. I think just I continuously just playing Uro. I think Uro Delver was probably the new form of the archetype that actually just new form of the version of the Delver. I think it's any Delver decks just want to go middle range. I think Green Dwarf just going to playing Uro. The card is so good. Um, I think it's just the card is still in like really good card. Even without the icon dust rip, you can still just cast it. You can still just have a actually just like win the game with it. So yeah, but yeah, that was it for the today. If you have any questions, just leave it in the Discord. But I can work on some sideboard guide. This takes I would be testing more of the some more of the delivers or some more of the version of decks, but I think this most likely to be my showcase challenge deck. Um, with that was no, but um, I unfortunately I don't know how to play this deck properly. Uh, it's really funny. I used to be the more of the control player, playing the Stoneforge Mystic deck or Miracles, but so long time those decks were really well positioned. So I was playing Delver like since the Deathrite Shaman, like I play Grixis Delver, then I play. I still play Delver after that because of Ren 6. So I play Temur Delver with Ren 6, and I play Temur Delver with Oko and the Threathold Arcanist. So it's been like few years that I've been playing Delver. So Tanadvi just I've started have more experience with Delver than Miracles or Stoneforge Mystic deck. So and the Stoneforge Mystic deck is still not good. Like Stoneblade is still not really good, unfortunately. And Miracles, it's I was playing Miracles like when the Sensei Divine top the Liga, so it's completely different decks now. And I was playing I played Snowco with Arkham Last Rave, and now the deck's a lot tougher to play because we don't have Astrave and also Oko. So I'm kind of more leaning towards Delver decks. And I'm not saying it's easier, it's still harder deck to play. I think Delver's not that forgiving, but I feel like I have more experience with Delver at this point. So yeah, I might just play Derba. But in the end of the day, I think it's just I recommend the Black Derba is still a good deck. Um another build is like Soul type Derba. I think Soul type Derba is still good. Again, the Derba's rules actually it's not bad. Yeah. But if you like playing more aggressive version, um I would recommend this version. This is the EZ Derba, more progress version of it, like Monastery, Safe Sphere, Sprite Dragon, and but like a better larva just for the later game. Because this deck this version dumps your hand really fast, so oftentimes you can just like play as a 2 mana for a draw 3. So it's like it works like a treasure cruise was used to be. So and it touches green a little bit for Bear of Summer because combos are really this version is really bad against combos, so you need to have some protection against combo. And the crosses, you know, because you need to have some ways to deal with the Uro. So cross is very important. So again, cross is the card again because Uro is still the card. But yeah, if you like playing more of the aggressive version of the Deriva deck that is more like the Deriva deck, I would recommend this version. I think this version is good start. this version doesn't run waste stun because the game gets faster than mana denying. You're just not mana denying your opponent anymore. You're just pushing the damage as quickly as possible. That's why you run Price of Progress. So, so that's another thing I would recommend. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that's it. So hopefully you all have a good day.